शम्भो। 。  . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 。 。 。 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。
。 。 。 。 .
शिव भो श्रीमहादेव शम्भो। नग्नो निस्सङ्गशुद्ध स्त्रीगुणविरहितो ध्वस्तमोहान्धकारो नासागण्यस्तदृष्टिर्विदितभवगुणो।
Hari Om. Good evening. A very warm welcome to all of you. Please come. Let's together invoke the power of praying together. With faith and devotion in our hearts, let us sincerely pray and seek the blessings of the Almighty. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amrutam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. O Lord the Almighty, the Omniscient, the Omnipotent, the Omnipresent, who also has the divine name as Jitamitra, to such a Supreme Almighty, together with Shraddha, Bhakti and Prapatti, we offer our humblemost salutations to seek your grace, your love, your mercy, your kindness, your benevolence, your forgiveness, your strength, your resilience. O Lord, bless us with the divine qualities such as Shraddha, Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya, Prapatti and Mumukshutvam in a much more enhanced proportion, as I can clearly see that whatever I have as of now is not sufficient to realize thy true self. We again and again beseech in you, plead before you, cry before you to make this happen to all of us in this very life and life alone. Our humble salutations to Ishvara, Shastra, and the entire Guru Parampara who have made it happen to all of us to get this divine and supreme most knowledge on this planet at our very doorstep. This wouldn't have happened without your grace, and may I remember this again and again and be firmly established in the supreme truth. Om Tat Sat. By the grace of the Almighty and with the blessings of the Guru Parampara, today we are on our Divine Discourse number 468 and the Aparoksha Anubhuthi series 55. On the 17th of March 2026, Swasti Shri Vishwavasunama Samvatsara Uttarayana Shishira Rutu Falguna Masa Krishna Paksha Bhauma Vasare Trayodashi Titau Shatabhisha Nakshatra Siddhinama Yoge Bhadrakarane. On this auspicious day of Tuesday and the auspicious time of the evening, we all sincerely and with devotion reaffirm our goal, our aim in life, that is self-realization. And that happens only and only if we reaffirm Naham Karta, Hari Karta, Hari Prernaya, Hari Prityartam. It's all the divine self at play, in action, in its entirety. May this jiva which has been caught in the ignorance for lifetimes be established in this firm thought that there is nothing other than that supreme reality. Our sincere most salutations to the Guru Parampara once again. Om Tat Sat. Good evening to all of you once again. So today, as I mentioned in my introductory note which was sent on WhatsApp to all of you as to what we are learning today, Bhagavan Shankaracharya, now primarily after having given the techniques, he once again shows us the way. Like, you have a child at home, or it could be even a teenager. What do parents tell when the child or the teenager is going out of home, going somewhere? They'll say, you know the address properly, who is coming with you, and how are you going? There are so many questions which they put to the child. In fact, the child gets irritated. So why are you asking so many questions? So in the same way here, it is the concern of the parents. However best you may know things, but they still want to recheck with you whether everything is in order when you are set on a journey. In the same way here, Bhagavan Shankaracharya is trying to tell us, focus on this, focus on this. Like as we asked him, have you kept water? Have you kept your tickets? Have you kept enough money? Is your mobile charged? This way. Now, what we shall do today is, I'll take you to the depth of how perceptions happen. Earlier we have studied perception of sight. And I think we have also studied sound. Today we'll be studying taste. And there we will relate it to consciousness again. See, be it a sense perception or an organs of action perception. Senses we know, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin, which is touch. All these are the sense perceptions. Now, what are the organs of action? Hands, legs, speech, then procreation and evacuation. Now, these are the 5 organs of action. Now, what Bhagavan Shankaracharya says is, you are constantly in one or more or all the actions simultaneously. So, he says, in every action, try to experience that reality. See, according to Patanjali Yoga Sutra, one of the prime ways to reach the supreme reality, as we know, you can reach by Bhakti Yoga, you can reach by Raja Yoga, or you can even reach by Jnana Yoga. Now, what happens to us when we get into Bhakti Yoga? Every time you get into Bhakti Yoga, you are always there asking for something. So, that true love is not there. And without true love, and without having any sort of anxiety, fear, desire in you, if you are able to love God, then Bhakti Yoga Marga also helps you. But that is again seldom in most of the beings. Then the second one comes as, we can see, Raja Yoga. Their absolute still posture. And then you have to be in that state of meditation. Go to that state of complete calmness. Attain Samadhi. And in that state of Samadhi, you get realization. Now that also is too difficult at this age. We cannot sit properly for an extended period of time. And for Samadhi, it takes some time. You just cannot, you sit down and you get into Samadhi, no. But see here, the beauty of the path of Jnana Yoga, what we are all following here, Advaita Vedanta, is Bhagavan Shankaracharya says you don't have to go anywhere, sit in silence, be in a state of meditation. No. You do any action what you want. Keep doing your regular work in the normal course. And there I will show you how to reach that state of Samadhi while doing action. Can you beat this? That's what we are going to learn now today. Earlier we have covered it. in one of the shlokas, but I did not go into depth because it was not appropriate to go into depth at that point. But now, why I prepared your mind by talking about all the entire detailed process of perception of sight, perception of sound. Now we go to taste and we will decode, decipher, and understand for ourselves where in the course of action I can reach a state of samadhi by knowledge. Don't compare that, oh, you're in a state of samadhi, meaning you will be closing your eyes while doing action. No. You will be reaching that state of samadhi. That is a goal. Now here again, you are reaching that same goal, but in a different route. Sometimes, we start from point A and we have to go to point B. And we say, let's say we have 4 or 5 cars. All of us start from there. And then eventually we realize that as we reach the destination, then the discussion starts. Hey, how come you came so fast? He says, I came via so and so route. The other person says, Arey, we got stuck in the traffic. I came via the other route. I got stuck. And somebody else says, traffic was not that bad in another route. So there are 3-4 ways. Each one took another way, but they all came to the same destination. In the same way here, you can do it at any point of time, and this is what I would be asking all of you, rather requesting all of you to continuously pursue this. This is one of the master strokes, I can tell you. If you need several techniques, yes, but what technique can give you the best result? This is one of the best results which I have been practicing because it's easy. You just need to know, that's all. So I'll explain in the process which I have practiced, and you will find it absolutely easy. And once you are in that state, the biggest advantage you will get is nothing will disturb you. This is take my words. Nothing will disturb you because there is a psychological gap between you and your mind. Just like you're seeing others, you may feel empathy, compassion, pity. On whom? On yourself only. Just like you're feeling for others now, what can I do? Somebody is in pain, let's say. They're getting one after the other adverse situations in life. Unwarranted, unintended, unexpected. When they confront such situations, you listen to it and you say, no, oh God, this shouldn't have happened to him or her. In the same way, you will be saying to your own self, because you have transmigrated now to another state, another plane of consciousness. You are just a witness. Do you have control over somebody else's life? No, you can only see that person, what is happening in her or his life. In the same way, you will be able to see in your own life. Now, let's master that technique. So before that, I'll take you now to the perception of taste and explain to you, prepare your mind, and then we'll go to where exactly and how exactly we can reach the state of samadhi. Okay. Okay, now 135. Okay, we'll start from here. We have done last time, but nevertheless, we'll understand this once again. Shri Harim Paramanandam Upadeshtaramishwaram Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Karanam Tam Namamyaham. So 135 says, Karye karanata yata karane nahi karyata karanatvam tato gachet karya bhave vicharataha. Now see, as we have understood, take the example of the pot and clay. Now what is happening there? The stages. As I told you last time, we had completed those 4 stages of the pot and clay, and in our next class we are going to compare it to, okay, this is pot and clay, but we are talking of how do you compare this to the universe. So there is a pot, okay. Stage 2, you look at the pot and it's very clear to you that this is an effect. And what is the cause? Clay. Oh, so this is secondary, this is concurrent. So pot is nothing but an effect of clay. Now you go to the 3rd stage, and there what you discover is, you say, I'm looking at this pot very closely and I see that the inside, outside, everywhere in the pot is nothing but clay. So thereby what are you doing? You say then there is no effect here. And then the stage 4, what remains is, it is cause and cause alone which is remaining. Got it? Now these are the 4 stages. Now what we have to understand, how do I look at the universe and how do I look at the Jagat, universe, and how do I look at myself? Okay, pot, clay, table, wood, wave, sea, gold ornament, gold, these are all fine as objects. But now I want to understand, tell me, Jiva Brahma Aikya. How are you going to relate the Jiva and the Brahma? Both are one. This is my question. How are you going to relate? He says, okay, just like as you see a pot, look at the universe. Stage 1. Then understand, as you know by science, by astrophysics, you know that the universe has come into existence by the 5 elements, and there in the 5 elements you have the atoms, and then in the atoms you have the proton, electron, neutron, and then the subatomic particles. So likewise, as you go deeper and deeper and deeper, now you are able to understand that there is something known as God particle in each and every minutest of the atom. So then you realize, stage 1 it was, as there is a pot, here you see universe. Stage 2 you understand that this is an effect. The universe is an effect and there is a cause to this effect. And what is that cause in a pot? It was clay. Here you say it is Brahman. Now then you move one step forward and you say, now here in this particular verse, what he is trying to explain to us, he says, now this Brahman is there. You have realized that there is nothing called as the pot. In the same way, there is nothing called as the universe, because it is Brahman, and Brahman alone is appearing as this universe. And where are you now in the whole scheme? You are a part of the universe. Every individual is nothing but a part of the universe. What you can apply to the, when you say the entire universe, you apply it to a mountain, you apply it to a tree, you apply it to a aquatic creature, or a reptile, or a worm, or a bird, a human, an animal, all these are coming from the same clay, appearing in different names and forms. There is no difference. Now, if say there are 10 bodies, you go to the minutest level. Let's say they are cremated. After the cremation is done, then you say, okay, you mix up all the 10 ashes and the bones and all that, and now you say you separate. As you could do when they were alive, when they were, where you were able to see them. If they all mix up together, you can say, I can separate each one of them, each one with a name and a form I can find out. But now when they go to that final state, when they mix up, can you really separate them? No. Going much deeper, we all have the same atomic particles within us. So here he is trying to say, there you realize that Brahman, which is the ultimate source. But now we want to go one step further now in this. He says, when there is no effect, then there is no cause also. Because cause and effect are a result of each other. Although a cause can remain without an effect, but an effect cannot be there without a cause. So he's slowly going. Now this whole Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta, is about going to the higher reality. Just like as in life, dream is one state, waking is another state, and the third state is an awakened state, meaning a realized state. So we all are swapping between dream, awake, dream, awake. Now what is our goal? From the awake state, we have to go to the awakened, that is the realized state. Now, how do we do that? Okay. The cause and effect both are in the state of what we call as Saguna Brahman. Brahman has got another state where he with his Maya Shakti, he appears as Purusha, Prakriti and Nama Rupa. So he says this is, and in this Saguna state, you are able to see the cause and effect. And when the effect, now the student has understood, there is no effect, there is only cause. And then he says, I want to go to the next level. Then he realizes that even this cause can be merged in the Nirguna Brahman. What is the example now? A classic example is of a dream. How do we relate now? Very easy to understand. In a dream, you are a character. I, you, another person, all of us, we all are characters in that dream. And then eventually, what happens? You realize as you wake up that it was a dream. And where were all these characters? In the dream mind of the dreamer, which is the cause. There is one cause for the entire universe, as we saw. Everything else is concurrent. There is one cause for the entire universe. In the same way, there is one dreamer's mind which was there for the entire dream. Clear so far? Now what happens is the person wakes up. Waking up can be compared to a state of awakening. So as soon as he wakes up, he is going from one lower reality to a higher reality. So it is from a dream, he comes to a waking state. Immediately he realizes that there was one cause, that was my mind, and the entire dream was an appearance in my mind. See, now we don't need anybody to explain anything to us. We ourselves have experienced this. That is the beauty of Advaita Vedanta. Take this example. If my mind can create this kind of a universe, different kinds of worldly experience I am getting every day in my dream. How is this possible? Where is this coming from? Sometimes there is so much light, there is so much color, there is so much of emotion. All this we have seen in our dream, which is no less than what we see in the real world. Sometimes your heart must be racing, sometimes you're perspiring, sometimes you're laughing, sometimes you're even weeping. All these intense emotions are experienced in a dream. There are several characters which are all the effects, but there is one cause, which is the dreamer's mind. Now, when the dreamer wakes up, he is no more a dreamer, he becomes a waker. And he understands, yes, all this was a dream. He knows how much importance to give to it. Now, imagine a situation while you were dreaming. Say you were struck with stage 4 cancer. You or your children, somebody dear to you, are struck with stage 4 cancer. How much of anxiety is happening in you? How much of fear is brewing in you? At that point, a person comes by. Just like a guru comes here to tell you the truth, a person comes by and he tells you, hey, why are you worrying? He says, look, my son or daughter has got stage 4 cancer, blood cancer. He says, look, you are a dream person here. And all this situation is happening in the dream of the dreamer. You are not a true character over here. Now, if somebody had to tell you that, and if you are able to have that feeling of that lucid dreaming, then you will say, oh, I understand. Nothing to worry now. This is not real. This is an illusion. In some time it will go away. Now, in the same way, what will happen is, now in this exercise, what we are going to do, we are slowly moving forward from the waking state to the awakened state. Just like we saw that all these effects are nothing but in the cause, and the cause is now moving from this saguna to the nirguna state, here from the dreamer to the waker, and from the waker to the realized state. And how do we experience, or how do we learn to go to that waking state? That awakened or realized state? In the waking state. How do I do that? That will be the process which we will be learning through the perceptory aspects. You are listening now, that is perception. You are seeing now, that is perception. And you are feeling the warmth or the atmosphere, temperature around you. If you feel it's warm, you will be reducing the temperature of the AC, or you will be switching on the speed of the fan. So now all this is what? Based on your perceptory perceptions. So we will take up the aspect of, as we said, we will go to the sense of taste. Okay? And from there, we will understand how to move forward. Just a sec. I have to show you a chart. I'm just searching for the chart. Okay. Now I show you a pen. Okay. And I say, this is a pen. This is one statement I'm giving you. And I also give you another statement. You are seeing a pen. Which sounds more meaningful? This is a pen and you're seeing a pen. The second one obviously is more meaningful. Yes, I'm seeing a pen. Now, object, and when you see, there is an experience, and what is that which is behind the experience? How do these things happen in every perception? Now that is what we will be using this technique to understand. If you go object wise, you will reach in an object state. But now we are taking the help of an experience, because our life is all about experiences. It's not just objects. We are hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, seeing, all this we are doing. So, understanding this concept that behind every moment of my life, there is something called as experience. So, taking that, now we will use this formula. Okay, now how the taste happens. Say now, okay, the mango season has just started. You are lucky enough to eat a mango now. So now what happens? You put your mango in the mouth and immediately you say, wow, it's so sweet. Or you may say it's tangy. Now, how this happens? It didn't take much time for you. When you place that mango on your tongue, see, there is so much happening. Understand that we are saying, oh, this is my body. There can't be a bigger fool to say this. When you place it on your tongue, that releases chemical molecules from sugars and acids. There are different kind of molecules which release. Now these molecules, they dissolve in the saliva. This is the first thing which happens. Now what happens is, there are tiny bumps on the tongue which are called as papillae, and they contain taste buds. There are about anywhere between 2000 to 5000 of them on the tongue. Now these taste buds, they have receptor cells which can detect 5 kinds of taste: sweetness, sourness, saltiness, then bitterness, and also savory. Now each and every receptor is tuned to a particular type of molecule. See, to explain this, it's taking so much time. But the moment you put it in your mouth, you say, wow, it's so sweet. What variety is this? From which shop did you get? How much is this per kilo or per dozen? Can you give me the contact number? Because you already liked it. Now these sweet receptors respond to the sugar molecules. And vice versa. Now whatever, if it was sour, it is the acid molecules which are there. Okay, now it is on your tongue still. Now these receptors are activated, they convert into chemical signals which are traveling now through the nerves towards the brain, and there they convert into electrical signals. So far on your tongue it was chemical. Just like when the light entered your eyes, it was light rays. But now while it travels through the optic nerves to the brain, it becomes electrical signal. So in the same way here, it immediately converts into an electrical signal, and via the cranial nerves, which they call as the facial nerve, the vagus nerve, it goes to the main brain stem. And there, from the brain stem, you see that there are signals which go to a particular part of your brain which is taking care of the perception of taste, gustatory cortex. And there it so happens that the brain interprets that this is sweet, this is tangy, this is tasteless. Now the brain interprets this. Now where does the experience of taste happen? Now listen carefully. Now this is where we are coming to that state of samadhi by knowledge. experiencing consciousness in our daily life, in each and every perception. Okay. Where is this actual experience of sweetness or sourness or pleasure? Or no, I got cheated with this guy, unnecessarily told me tall stories, I bought these mangoes from him, not half a dozen, I bought 2 dozen. All this. Now this is happening in the mind, but understand the consciousness is behind the mind. Now where is this experience of taste? The mango is outside. The tongue and nerves are the instruments. The brain is nothing but an interpreter. Understand? But the actual experience of taste happens in the mind, not in the brain, which even science till date is not able to understand. Where is this experience happening? So that joy of recognition is known only because of that awareness. Now you have a microphone. You are speaking in front of the microphone. The microphone captures the sound, but it cannot hear. In the same way, your tongue and the brain, they all process taste, but they know nothing about it. So that knowing belongs to you. You means the mind, and mind is nothing but it is supported by consciousness, the Atman or the self. Now where are we getting caught? Again a practical. Wow, such sweet mangoes. See, I was telling you, you tell whomever it is, to your wife or to your husband or whoever, you say, see, look, I told you not to buy from that fellow. See from where I have got. That ego comes in. First of all, he says, you say that I was the person who bought these mangoes, and you tell everybody, how is it, you ask them. They all say it is sweet, it's sweet. Nice. Henceforth, you only bring mangoes to this house. So, that aham bhava kicks in over there. This is what we need to snap, cut it. Whenever you experience, we get so many experiences during the day. Sometimes we feel hot, sometimes we feel cold, sometimes it is somebody says something, we get hurt, somebody says something, we feel happy, regretful, guilty, anxious, fearful, cheerful. All these are what happens to you, are experiences. There you keep on snapping that aham bhava. If that experience is happening, it's not to me, it is to that Atman, which is the true self within me. If you are able to do this constantly, you are in a state of samadhi, even while eating a mango. Wow! What a theory, what a concept. Nobody can give this excepting Advaita Vedanta, and which is put forth to us from Bhagavan Shankaracharya. Any experience you have in life, you are not at all there in it. If you can bring this thought to your mind again and again, then you are sorted out. Which means the experience is not in the object, it is in that consciousness. I'll give an example. This is a long time ago, I think about 20 years back. One of my son's student, not son's student, his son's classmate, she had a broken spine. A poor girl, a broken spine and ugly looking, actually, I should not say this, but in practical terms, she was not good looking. And imagine with that broken spine, meaning she could not sit straight or stand straight. She, all the time, her upper body was down. Now what my son did was, he and his friends, they all came together and they collected some money and they got her operated in a hospital, and where the spine was fixed, okay, erect. Now, even then, it was not that she was looking great, but now I was not able to understand. In some time, in about 6 months or so, she fell in love with a boy who was really handsome, very handsome actually, not just handsome. I was wondering, my God, how can, maybe she liking the boy is okay, but the boy liking her, how is it happening? Sometimes, you see somebody and you get a shock of your life with a man and woman or a boy and girl. They are madly in love. They are ready to leave their family, they are ready to leave everybody for the sake of their love. Now you ask 10 people or you ask 100 people, everybody will tell you the same thing. We don't know how that boy got in love with this girl. Now this is where that the experience is not in the object. That experience is by that consciousness. So in the same way, for most of us, the girl may not look good, but to the boy, that is important, because the boy was looking good to everybody in any which case. To the boy, that girl was looking good, meaning it is that experience in his consciousness which is driven by the theory of karma, the law of karma. He was finding this girl attractive, and then I was following up with this their marriage. After 2, 3, 4 years they married, and then what could have happened? And I came to know that that boy was taking such good care of that girl, because she was in a way handicapped only. How can this happen? See, it is that experience happening in the Atman, in that consciousness, not in that person. Because we are also seeing, he is also seeing, but what I am seeing is different and what he is seeing is different. So that way, that is how we see these kind of various things. Somebody likes something, somebody dislikes something. Same brothers, sisters, in the same family, you see. Why there is so much of difference of opinion? It is not, the truth is not revealed or revealed in the object. The truth is revealed by the experience which is happening in consciousness. Now our subject over here is, how can I be established in that consciousness? Snap the eye as the door and realize that consciousness is at play. It is happening by consciousness, in consciousness, and to consciousness. TO. It's all happening to consciousness, in consciousness, by consciousness. This you can do as many number of times you want, till you get tired. Just keep doing this, and then there will be a state. As you practice this, you will start rising higher and higher, because you are knowing the reality of this world. Nothing is real over here, meaning you become a lucid dreamer. While dreaming, you know that this dream is false. In the same way, while you are awake, you know that this is all an illusion over here. How is it happening? Now behind the mind is the consciousness, and it is the consciousness which is experiencing everything which it has created, just like our own mind creates a dream and experiences the dream in its entirety. So this aspect has to be extremely clear in our mind. It's not difficult. Where is the cutoff point where you have to clip? Now you have some dress which you are wearing, and you know that it is too lengthy. So now you call the tailor and you tell him, see, look, I want this to be shortened. First thing, what will he ask you? At what level you want it to be shortened? Then you will say, okay, you take my length. Okay, this is the place where I wear on my waist, and then length, you want it till this extent. He'll calculate till there, and then he'll make a marking there. And at this point, I'm going to cut. In the same way, you have to cut when the I comes in. When the I comes in, immediately cut it. There is no I here. It is consciousness, mind. Behind the mind is the brain. All of these are instruments. Behind the brain is the sense organs, and beyond the sense organs are the organs of objects, basically. From the objects, sense organs to the mind illumined by the consciousness. This is the flow. There is no I anywhere in between. Just because the creation itself has blindfolded us with that I, and here it is telling us, I am giving you this knowledge, clip it off, and you will become one with me. This is the state of Advaitic Samadhi. Now you are listening. Listen it not that you are listening, but the consciousness is listening. Now when I am speaking, I will be speaking in the tone of the consciousness is speaking. In the same way you should be receiving it as the consciousness is receiving. So in this side and the other side, it is consciousness and consciousness alone. There is nothing else other than that consciousness. Just like there were several characters in the dream, and there was one dream mind. In the same way here, there are several characters in the waking world, and behind the waker's mind, you have the consciousness, which is one and one only. And that one consciousness is witnessing this whole illusion. Okay, and now I'll show you a slide, and which is about the sight, which we had done earlier. We'll take that and understand. Okay, experience. Now, how does this experience happen? Here we are taking the example of the seeing. Okay, two-level map, physical neural chain, and as the sight enters the mind, there is a image which is created in the mind, in the brain, but there is no experience. Up to the state of the brain, it came by light and converted to electrical impulses, and in the brain, which is just an instrument, you had a vritti. Vritti means modification. And there, with the modification, what happens? The reflected consciousness, which is the Chetana Shakti, also called as Chidabhasa, now you get an experience. Now this experience normally is calculated as I saw. You didn't see, I saw. So clearly I saw. Why were you not able to see? I saw. That I is the point where you have to clip. So there is an object, it enters, the light enters the eyes. Unless and until there is light on the object, you will not be able to see it. The light on the object reflects and enters your eyes. Retina converts that light into neural signals. Then the optic pathways goes to the thalamus, to the cortex. Then posterior visual cortex builds perpetual content, and then that recurrent loop stabilized content. Now all this is where the vritti has happened. Now the mind forms a vritti based on that object. It gives a form. Now the Chidabhasa, the Chetana Shakti, illumines this vritti, and buddhi determines, oh, this is a person's face or this is an animal face, and immediately ahankara comes in and he says, I know this person. I am seeing this person. That I is illumined by the Sakshee, the changeless witness, but we stop at the ahankara level. No understanding of that E on the second, under the experience, the last one, E, Sakshi, Atman, changeless witness, never modified. Now there, what is happening? We are stuck. one step behind. We are always stuck in D. Ahankara claims, I see, I know, I hear, I talk, I listen. So snap this I over here and know that everything is happening in the consciousness. Just like everything was happening in the mind of the dreamer, here in a waking state, everything is happening in the mind of that consciousness, or in consciousness and consciousness alone. And if we can practice this, as much as you can practice, and you will be in that state of samadhi all the time. You're looking at something, you're in samadhi, you're hearing something, you're in samadhi, you're eating food, you're in samadhi, you're talking, you're in samadhi. What more you want? Advaitic Vedantic Samadhi, established in that knowledge. And as you grow on this, then there will be a stage where there is a complete destruction of the Ahankara. Ahankara is no more there. Just like consciousness or Chaitanya Shakti was no more there earlier, only filled with Ahankara, over a period of time, based on how much you practice. Now there is virus, say you got an infection, there is virus in your body. And then you are administered with antibiotics and so many other medicines. Slowly you see all that virus going away, right? In the same way, here you will see that the Ahankara starts reducing and you will get into a state of that consciousness. Okay, now, okay, we didn't start with 136 at all. Okay, come, let's move to 136. Okay. Now, I have explained the concept in very much detail. So, the next few verses are all going to be summarized. Okay, now, Ata Shuddham Bhaved Vastu Yadvai Vachama Gocharam Drashtavyam Mridagate Naiva Drishtantena Puna Punaha. Now here Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, what do I tell you about that Brahman? It's beyond speech, my dear. So what you should do then? If it cannot be told, it cannot be understood, then what should we do? He says, Drashtavyam mridghate naiva. Drishtantena punah punah. Punah punah means again and again. Drishtantena. The metaphor I have given you of what? Mridghate naiva. Of the pot and the clay. Drashtavyam. See that again and again. Know that what this entire reality is about. There is a cause, there is an effect, and behind the cause and effect there is Nirguna Brahman. After that only came the Saguna Brahman. So this way he says, this is told in the Chandogya Upanishad. Vacharambanam vikaro namadeyam mrittika eva satyam. The names in the world are only just words, just names. Name is for the cause. Thus, whether you say a pot or a cup or a jug or a wall or a tree or a bird, these are all words. Only words, mere words. But all of them are nothing but the cause, which is the clay. The same way, it's all Brahman and Brahman alone. So, punah, bring that into your mind. Know that everything comes from a particular reality. The effect is not the final thing. It has a cause behind, and the cause has also got a super cause. So knowing this, you move ahead. Okay, we move to 137. Anenaiva prakarena vritti brahmatmika bhavet udete shuddha chittanam vritti jnanam tataparam. Now here he tells another very subtle point. Anena prakarena. Meaning by this process, eva alone, vritti brahmatmika bhavet. He says that vritti, what comes in your mind, just now as we discussed, remove the thought of whatever. If you are seeing a person, remove that person thought. If you are seeing, that is the manushya vritti. If you are seeing some tree, that vriksha vritti, remove that. Ghata, if you are seeing a pot, remove that pot vritti. He says there everywhere, just keep looking at Brahman, Brahmakara. Always have that Brahmakara vritti everywhere. Then slowly what will happen is, even though you are seeing something as an object, every object will only be nothing but of that Brahman and Brahman alone. Udeti means that dawns. To whom? Who will get this realization? Shuddha Chittanam. He says, Shuddha Chittanam means to a person of that whose mind is pure and who it is filled with knowledge. In such a mind, Udeti, rises what? Vritti Jnanam. Tataparam. That absolute knowledge of that absolute, that will rise in his mind. Now, what we have to do? Snap the aham and replace it with the Brahmakara vritti, which means the consciousness is the final truth. That's all we have to do. The more and more we do snapping, the more and more faster you will be able to Udeti Shuddha Chittanam. That is when you will see that the Brahman arises over there. That will be a state. You will merge into Brahman that way. Next. Karanam vetirekena pumanado vilokayet अन्वयेन पुनस्तद्वि कार्ये नित्यं प्रपश्यति. Another way I'll tell you, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, you always look, when you look at the cause, when you look at the effect, just to know the cause. Meaning he is just trying to tell us, go one step back. You will see it. You have come and stuck where? Aham, I am seeing, I am hearing, I am doing, I am listening. Go one step back. If aham is the effect, go to the cause, which is the consciousness. And how do I do that? Neti, neti, not this, not this, not this. Just keep doing not this. Because the moment you say idam, oh, is this consciousness? Chaitanya cannot be objectified. Awareness cannot be objectified. That is its nature. You cannot do anything about it. Now I can see with my eyes. But can I see my own eyes with my eyes? I can only see a reflection, be it in the mirror or in a photograph. I can see, but my eyes cannot see my eyes. The same is that with the subject. So he says, neti neti, negative method. Just go on negating everything. Whatever comes to your mind. Is this consciousness? Don't search for consciousness, because everything is in consciousness, by consciousness. Everything is happening. Then you cannot actually search for that. It is like, how we are a fish in the ocean. Somebody comes and tells the fish, have you seen water? The fish says, where is water? I don't know where is water. Tell me, show me where is water. He says, you are in water. What I am in water? I don't understand. That has been our state. We are in consciousness. Consciousness is not within us. We are in consciousness. So know that everything which is happening only by and by consciousness. Now, we have understood it to the most detailed level. In stages we have understood, scientifically, phenomenologically, all these tricks we have used, and now here it is, you have to only move one step backward and say there is, clip that aham and say it is consciousness. If I am experiencing something, it is nothing but consciousness. And if you start getting established in that thought, you are in Vedantic Samadhi by knowledge. So that is, now he tells in every effect the cause is ever present. Use the method of neti neti and move on. Okay, so now we have another 5 verses to go, and this is the last class of Vishwavasu Nama Samvatsara. So next class will be in the new Samvatsar, and we will be completing, not in the next class, by the 30th of this month, we will be completing our 6 years of together learning. And I extend my deep gratitude, thanks for being a part of this great journey, and may God give us more and more such opportunities in future. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Chali, now we do the Vishnu Sahasranama, and then we see what is Vritrasura's fate today, how he became Vritrasura, where his body, remember, his body has merged at the feet of Lord Narayana. How can such a demon be Vritrasura? So there is a cause for everything. That was an effect where he merged with Lord Narayana. But how he became Vritrasura? What was the reason? We'll understand that. Yeah. We'll first finish the Vishnu Sahasranama. Verse number 56 of the Namavali. Ajo maharya swabhavyo jitamitra pramodanah anando nandano nanda satyadharma trivikramaha. 524. Jitamitraha, one who has conquered all his enemies, both within and without. Within meaning he has conquered all these enemies such as desires, anxiety, hope, greed, jealousy, and externally he has conquered enemies like Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, and others. So to such a Lord who is capable of conquering within and outside, we offer our humble most pranams and seek his blessings. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutagalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidaya Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutagalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. ॐ नमो भगवते महासुदर्शनाय वासुदेवाय धन्वन्तरये अमृतकलशहस्ताय सर्वभयविनाशाय सर्वरोगनिवारणाय त्रैलोक्यपतये त्रैलोक्यनिधये श्रीमहाविष्णुस्वरूप श्रीधन्वन्तरी स्वरूप श्री 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 औषधचक्र नारायणाय स्वाहा. Health is pivotal to achieve anything you want in life. Do we pray to the Lord of Health to grant us the adequate amount of health till such time this body, this jiva gets realized. Om Tat Sat. Okay, now we'll study Bhagavatam. Okay. Now, as you have seen last time, this king Chitraketu, after he has lost his son and then he got to know the truth from Narada Muni, sage Narada, and sage Angiras, what is the truth of life, how a person is born, how a person dies, and then he, with his power, they call the prince back and says, look at your parents, they're calling you to come and sit on the throne. And he says, who are these people? He's in a different state of mind. So he says, who are these people? I don't know these people. For whatever short period of time I was to be born as their child, I was born and now I'm no more there. So then they tell him, okay, now you go to so and so place and Bhagavan Adishesha himself will give you Brahma Vidya. And there they got Brahma Vidya last time. That is what we learnt. After getting Brahma Vidya, he was so receptive because only one thing which was desire in his life which held him back was his Putra Moha. He wanted a child. And now he got a child, he lost the child. Now we realize that there is nothing great in life to aspire for other than self-realization or God realization. And he did that tapas. And thereafter Adishesha gave him the Brahma Jnana. After getting the Brahma Jnana, he was established in that. He gets a special vehicle which is a flying chariot and singing the glory of Lord Narayana. Thousands of years. Now he is in the skies where there is no traffic. And Lord Narayana in his mind, body, senses completely engrossed in that state, he is going around the skies. Now what happens to this Chitraketu? Now that is what is the last just 2 pages. Okay. Once while he was passing the mountain home or abode of Lord Mahadeva, he is going all around, So he sees that glowing form of Mahadeva from the skies. So from where? From his chariot which had been given to him by Narayana, none other than Narayana. So King Chitraketu saw the mountain Kailasa Manas Sarovar. He sees that. The Pramata Ganas surrounding their master and the master himself over there. He was seated in the midst of rishis, all eminent rishis. And in such a situation, he sees that on his lap was seated Sati, his wife. Now with one hand he was embracing her. Looking at this, Chitraketu laughed loudly. See, it is such a formal assembly, and there if he sees that Sati is sitting on her lap and he's embracing and all that, he somehow felt this a little weird and he started laughing. Chitraketu laughed loudly enough to be heard by all of them who were seated. He's on the top and flying on the sky, and he really laughed aloud. He then said, "It is a great surprise to me to see Lord Mahadeva like this. He is said to be the Lord of the world. He is acclaimed teacher of all. He is presiding over an assembly of sages. And what do I see? I see him making love to his wife in public. Dressed as he like an ascetic in matted locks, well versed as he is in all the sacred lore, this God is behaving like an ordinary, uncultured, ignorant man by making love to his woman in the presence of all. Why? Even the ignorant man whom I mentioned is not so shameless." He refers to a common man. "He takes a woman only in secret. How then can one explain this scene?" Just casually it comes out. Lord Mahadeva heard his words and he said nothing. He sat smiling, and the others in the assembly followed his example. They just behaved like as Lord Mahadeva was doing. No one spoke a word, but Sati could not brook her impertinence. She thought that he was proud of his own control over his senses, and she felt that he needed to be taught a lesson which would curb his impertinence. She spoke with her eyes glowing with anger. She said, "This man is now so great that he thinks he is fit enough to teach the rules of conduct and decorum to shameless people like us. Evidently, those who follow the words of Brahma, the sons of Brahma, the Rishis, Bhrigu, Narada, or the others who are here, do not know anything about the rules of conduct." See, it's a great gathering. Who all are there? The sons of Brahma are there, Bhrigu Rishi is there, Narada Maharishi is there. You mean to say they don't know the rules of conduct? According to this upstart, they are all fools. And this my Lord Mahadeva is not worthy of respect. It is a time the pride of this king is curbed. See, that is what we have to learn over here. He reached a state, Chitraketu, where Lord Narayana gave him a chariot and he said, keep flying, keep flying. You will never have shortage of fuel. Irrespective of wherever the war goes on in the country, you will never have shortage. And he got that pride. So it is high time he is punished. He is unfit to be anywhere near the feet of Narayana. And so Chitraketu, I curse you to be born in the dread clan of Asuras as a punishment for your arrogance. It's not ignorance, arrogance. So, from knowledge comes arrogance. We all have to be careful. Knowledge is something which brings you a lot of arrogance. Be humble. Seek humility again and again. Cut that aham bhava. So if the true knowledge is there, aham bhava is snapped. So now Chitraketu climbed down of his chariot and prostrated the Devi in all humility. Now see this, how the story goes further. He said, Mother of the world, I receive your curse with folded palms. What has been ordained by the gods for man in reality been decided by his own actions long ago. The human animal, caught up as it is in the delusion, Maya moves round and round in circles without knowing how to get out of this samsara. It undergoes pain and pleasure which visit him in turns. The Atman has nothing to do with the alteration of the opposites. He is giving his Brahmajnana over there. Nor is anyone capable of causing this cycle. In this world which is but an illusory stream flowing endlessly, where is the place for either a curse or a blessing? My God, see this. Is there a heaven? And is there such a place as hell? Happiness? Sorrow? It is the Paramatma who creates living beings with his Maya, and it is he who gives them bondage or release from bondage. And all the while, he is never involved. He is just a witness. He loves no one, nor does he hate anyone. He has no kinsmen and no friends. Everything looks alike to him, and in him the opposite feelings are absent too. See, he knows that all are one. Okay. How then can anger find a place in him? Never. Mother, mind, I am not angry with you for cursing me, nor am I going to ask you to withdraw or modify your curse. In my words, if my words have offended you, please forgive me. After saluting the heavenly pair, Chitraketu ascended the chariot and went away with a smile on his face. See, now you have to carefully understand what is Chitraketu's state of mind, what is Mahadeva's state of mind, what is the entire assembly's state of mind, and what was Sati's state of mind. Now this last paragraph, Mahadeva was watching him, also with a smile on his face. He then turned to Sati and said, now do you see the greatness of the Bhakta of Narayana? Nothing will affect him. He's so much into Narayana. That's what you have to understand over here. In that state, whatever you say, whatever you listen, whatever happens to you, you are in the state of Narayana consciousness. Nothing will affect him. Heaven, hell, curse, blessing will all mean the same to a Bhakta of the Lord. His nature is so placid that he will find peace wherever he is. This is Lord Shiva is telling Sati. Everything looks the same to him. He is well versed in Brahma Vidya, and the opposites mean nothing to him. Look at the peace on the face of this man who has been condemned by you to a terrible death. Sati's anger abated, and she looked at Chitraketu and his calmness. Chitraketu, who did not curse her in return, see, he had the capability of even cursing in return. Chitraketu, who did not curse her in return, even though he had the power to do so, he accepted the curse with an unruffled frame of mind. It was this Chitraketu who was born as Vritra because of the curse of Sati. So whenever you see anything, a great man or a demon, they all have a background. So now the important lessons what we have to learn over here. The pair of opposites. To Shiva or to the Brahmaputras or the Rishi, Bhrigu Rishi, Naradam Rishi, Maharishi, everybody just accepted it. But when that Aham Bhava is there, who are you to say such things to me? Sati had that. Who are you to say this? I'll see what I can do to you. And she used her power. Others, they were still praising. Can you see the greatness of the Bhakta of Narayana? Nothing affects him. Whatever you do, that is ultimate bhakti, ultimate Brahma Jnana. He got the Brahma Jnana. He was well prepared, but just that one desire to have a son as a king, he was stuck in that. Otherwise, Angirasa had said, last time I came to give you Brahma Vidya, but I saw that your interest for getting a son was more. So if at all you are feeling that, why am I not getting this Brahma Jnana? Why am I not getting this Aparoksha Anubhuti? Means first filter your desires. This is one thing we learn from this story. Because it will not come unless and until your desires are completely evacuated. Once it is done, then you have a mind to receive that divine knowledge. Okay. Come, let's do some meditation. We'll do the switch in Sakshee bhava, where we watch our breath. And this switch, what happens between the inhale and the exhale, we are only going to focus on that. So there you can do modifications. You can take a long breath in and then hold for a long time, then exhale also for a long time, or inhale small, holding will be long, exhale also will be small. You can do all those combinations, but your mind has to be on the switch, that state where you are going from inhalation to exhalation. Just keep your mind there and don't focus on the breath at all. Just get stuck there. See how you can do. Either use the long inhalation, exhalation, or a short inhalation, exhalation, keeping this switch as a wider mode. Whatever suits you, you can take that. Come. Sit comfortably. Head, neck and spine in a straight line. Take a few deep breaths. Now slowly bring your attention to your mind. Observe your mind. Observe the thoughts in your mind. Now when you stop, reasoning the thoughts, you will see that the thoughts slowly reduce in number. Now come to the inhale and exhale and focus on the switch between the inhale and exhale. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Together, we offer today's Jnana Yajna at the lotus feet of the Lord to seek His grace, mercy, and blessings. Naham Karta, Hari Karta, Hari Preranaya, Hari Prityartam. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Idam Namama. Om Tat Sat. Good evening once again to all of you. If you have any questions on this Vedantic Samadhi, please do not hesitate to send me a message. This is very crucial. You should not have any doubts in this process. One of very strong methods, like as we have been talking of various techniques, which I had earlier told you about the tab: thought, action, breath. These are the three powers of the universe which is constantly in play, which are denoted by FEV, I said, frequency, energy and vibration. These three powers are coming to us as thought, action and breath. We are constantly associated with that. So you can, for a variety, as you say, if you are, for some time you do the method what we learned today, Vedantic Samadhi, let's call it as Vedantic Samadhi, and switch over to tab, and you will see that you will come out of the Kartrutva. The moment you start practicing, you are out of Kartrutva, and the moment you get established, you are realized. It's nothing but practice and practice and practice. Shri Krishna.